much. All right, we got some new polling in this morning, and it shows the presidential race is as tight as it's been so far. And while both candidates, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, say they want to debate, it seems like the final plans are stalling out a bit. Good Day's Robert Moses is here now with those details. Robert, good morning.
Dan, good morning to you. There's no debating that Vice President Kamala Harris has received a huge endorsement. This morning, we got word that former President Barack Obama endorsed the vice president, who released this video of her call with the former president, as well as the former First Lady.
We called to say, Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness.
The endorsement, coupled with those aforementioned solid poll numbers so early in her campaign, have the vice president encouraged and ready to take the stage with former President Donald Trump.
I'm ready to debate Donald Trump.
But is Donald Trump ready to debate Kamala Harris? Former President Trump and President Joe Biden had agreed to debate on September 10th on ABC. But then the president decided not to seek re-election. So is the debate still on?
I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling.
On a Tuesday conference call with reporters, the former president waffled about debating his presumptive new opponent.
I haven't agreed to anything. I agreed to a debate with Joe Biden. But I want to debate her, and she'll be no different, because they have the same policies.
In a statement late yesterday, the Trump campaign cited continued political chaos among Democrats and said debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. Therefore, the statement concludes, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats very well could still change their minds. To which the vice president replied, what happened to anytime, any place?
I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
A new New York Times Siena College poll shows former President Trump leading the vice president by just 1 percentage point among likely voters, a statistical dead heat. Compare that to the previous installment of that poll that gave the former president a 6 percentage point lead over President Biden. Since receiving the president's endorsement on Sunday, Vice President Harris has enjoyed a wave of donations and endorsements. Yesterday, she met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington. Today, former President Trump will do the same at Mar-a-Lago.
And we're also watching the Veep stakes. The vice president is expected to choose her running mate by August 7th. That date is significant because it is when the state of Ohio had required that nominees be named in order to appear on the ballot. State lawmakers in Ohio did push back that deadline, but Democrats want to avoid any chance of a legal challenge. Dan.